Now, from 1992 through 1996, you wrote 3 seasons of X-Men Adventures.
Yeah.
Now, this was shortly after Claremont stopped writing X-Men. Did you ever reach out to him and consult with him for any advice for writing an X-Men title?
Well, Chris and I are very good friends, and when Chris was down at come up to Marvel, and I was on staff at the time. After I had finally got a chance to interview Roy and got the Conan article published. Chris and I became good friends, and he would come down to Marvel after he'd written his X-Men stories and Iron Fist stories, and he would be getting all the mail for the X-Men for Iron Fist, and he would come office to office, and we would talk about X-Men and Iron Fist. And I used to drive into Marvel, and Chris lived way uptown, and so he would hang around after hours, as would I, and then I would drive him home. And he was way up in Brooklyn Heights or something like that. Way up in Inwood is where Chris lived. So I was going home anyway, and I would be taking the FDR Drive over the Harlem River Drive and over the bridge. But instead, I would go off to the right and drive him home to Inwood. And during that time, I found out a lot of the ideas he had for the X-Men because he would sit there and talk to me about it in the car. So I didn't need to consult Chris when I was writing X-Men Adventures. I had a screenplay in front of me that was being used in the animated show, and I needed to translate that into a comic book. So I didn't really need to consult with Chris, but I certainly was well aware of his thoughts on all the X-Men characters and where he planned to go with it. I got that just by osmosis, just by talking to Chris and having him sit in the passenger seat as I would drive him home when he'd come down to Marvel.